G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching again. Now, thanks for all the comments and feedback on my videos, and I will try and incorporate as much of that feedback into some of these videos as I can. Some of you asked for a bit more close-up work on the tree, and some of you asked for time lapses and etc. So I'll try and get those done with these trees. So this is a continuation of my previous couple of videos on the shimpaku stock that I've been growing from air layers, and these are now the next couple of trees that I want to work with. I've got these two today I want to try and get through. These two have had the wire applied to them over the years, and now they've been probably 2 years in these pots after air layering. They've had some wire applied. Now it's time to take that wire off and try and create at least the final kind of structure of the tree before it gets to the next year's growth. So what I mean by that is, if I set the structure now, it's kind of what the tree is going to look like in the future. It's a good representation of what the tree looks like in the future. Now I've done just a bit of cleanup work on this tree. Now I'll just do that. You can probably see the three trunks there. There's three trunks that are you can clearly see them. One trunk in here, the middle trunk in here, and then there's one off to the side here. Even looking at it this way, you can still see the three trunks, but also you can see the gin here, and there's another little gin in there, but this gin you can see here as well. Now what I'm having a look at the moment, now I'll probably just bring the camera in closer. You won't have to see my head. Just let me try and bring that closer so I don't have to reach over so much. Alright, so what we're going to work towards is, now I'll try and do that. I know it's a bit sunny, but can you see this trunk here? Oh, it's going to be, maybe the sun can capture the sun at the right angle and it'll work. Alright, anyway, there's three trunks, it's a bit shady. Damn, we'll get through it. So there's a trunk in here. It's got a bit of a bow. Now, let me just hold it up. There's a bit of a bow in there. What it means is it kind of goes like a bow, but upwards and out, whereas this trunk has a nice straight trunk, and this trunk is a nice little trunk off that main trunk. So you can see that these two trunks, if I tilt the tree something like that, I'm thinking I can tilt the tree something like that and create something interesting with the two trees, with the two trunks there. They kind of almost, the second trunk almost starts at the base. But I can create something more interesting like that, or I can tilt it over, but I think something like that without this bow. Now, I'm not going to go chop that off. You know what I'll be doing, right? I would air layer that off. So I would be in a position to remove this wire, put an air layer on this branch here. There you go. Put an air layer on this branch somewhere around here, and then create like at least start the styling for these two and get a position of the tree. Or some sort of formation and structure of the tree ready now, because I don't want to waste any more time. I kind of know I like those two trunks together. Now we'll wait for that sun to go or get a bit more shade. But yeah, there you go. So that's the thinking I've got at the moment, and I will take you through those steps. First, I'm going to remove this wire on the entire tree. I don't want to have any wire on it. I want to re-looking at the structure, and if I need to put rewire on it, then I'll rewire it. But for now, I'm just going to remove the wire. You don't need to see that, so I will cut the video now here, and then I'll come back and we'll just work through the rest of the tree. Okay. All right. So welcome back, and I've just got the camera right up close now. I've covered the section I'm going to air layer. Now I don't know if you guys understood why I wanted to air layer that off. It's got this bow in it, in the base of that, and to get that out will take probably many years of growth. I don't like seeing that bow in trunks, I guess. I don't know why. Maybe it adds makes it look too young. You know, when young seedlings go up like that kind of thing, or young branches go up like that. So maybe that's why I don't like it. I don't know 100% why, but now this is what I've got left. So I've got two trunks, and got a nice, also two trunks here with some gin in the front and gin as a feature. Now, looking at this tree, what are the best features at the moment? You know, the tree, it's young enough to bend and twist into position however I want to do it. Now, these gins do I want to keep these gins in the front so you can see them, or do I hide it with the other side? In this case, all the branching is on this side, which is good. There's not much branching on this side. However, I can bend everything around and compact it and make it a shorter tree. Now, I'm kind of giving you a hint what I'm going to do, which side I'm going to use. So really, at this stage, the tree's young enough to do anything you want to it. I'll do the air layer last because I want to do all the work first, and then I'll put the air layer on because I'll keep knocking it if I do it now, and I'm have to try trying to find ways around it. Now, the plan is I will be using this as the front. I won't be using that. I'm very unlikely to put it in. I'm very unlikely to put the tree like that as a front. Will be something like that with that in mind, thinking it's going to be tilted. The main trunk's going to go a little bit off to this side, and the other trunk's going to go a bit this way. And I'm going to create two kind of trees in one, a twin trunk. Going to twist now. See how this branch, this is the top branch, it goes back, but then I want to twist this all the way around and put it into a nice little apex in here and build a tree around this gin. It'll be a nice small tree. And then this trunk, you'll see there's got a bit of an issue here. Can you see this huge long twisty part around here? Now that is very long and twisted and very bare in this section. So what have I got? If we choose this as a front, we've got all these nice fine branching here that I can use to build the tree instead and make a smaller tree. Having this huge long one isn't of use just yet. What I plan to do, if I've got a nice gin here, I should at least have some sort of gin on this trunk too to balance and create more dead wood. So the plan is to keep growing that on. I won't even touch it. See how this has got a nice long shoot? I'm going to probably just put a bit more wire in and twist it a bit more and let it grow, and then I'll gin that when the time is right. Okay, so it's still a work in progress, this tree, but you could see the thinking around it and what I plan to do. So let me try and do a little what's it called, time lapse, because I know you guys are interested in time lapses, or some of you are. So I'll do a little time lapse in this section, how I go about wiring it up. I try and keep the tree in this position and I'll work around it. It'll be interesting, but I'll probably bring the tree. I'll just have a nice close-up angle of me working on the tree, and we'll get through it, and I'll see, and you can see how it eventually comes together. With that in mind, I'll probably have to get a bit of wire put underneath, something like that, a bit of an angle. Okay, all right, we'll be back in a time lapse. Okay everyone, so I have finished. Hopefully you guys can see that. I've actually finished up wiring. You can see bits of wire sticking out. I'll have to cut them off again. But you can see how much compact that tree is. Now, if I just hide this section here, it's the start of a little twin trunk. Now you can probably see now the gins are in the front. There's actually, don't worry about this one that I'm hiding. That's the one I'm going to grow and make a nice twisty gin at the back. But I've tried to create a nice little tree in here. So you can see, hopefully see that little tree in there. It's very rough, as you can see. It's still too early to do fine refinement. And then I've got another nice little tree here that's really just become a very miniature tree. So I know this needs a bit of work. I think that's growing. I've got to probably chop that off, but I think that was around in there. But I'll work that out. But you can see what we're coming to, like a little tree in here, and then the big main tree here, and a little tree in the side. I'll gin that off. I'll probably actually, if that grows well enough and long enough out here, I'll probably have another chance to air lay another tree off here. So that's another air layer. So, but I'm hoping you guys can see those nice little twin trunk now. So there you go. So probably have to plant it a little bit on an angle like that. You know, if that was straight, as I said to you before, if you plant it on that angle, it looks a bit better. This will have to be a bit smaller, and this is a little bit taller, and that's the result. So nice little effort. It's probably about 25 minutes worth of work there that I've sped up. Hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully it worked well. I'm not sure how it's going to work well on the, how it's going to come out on the time lapse, but there you go. If I hide that, there you go. Well, I think I'll cut this video now short, just because it'll run too long if I keep going with another tree. But I'll do another video on the other tree, a similar kind of situation, and I'll see what other. I've got a couple more to do, so we'll see what we can combine into the one video. But there you go, how to create the next step on creating a nice little miniature shimpaku juniper. One of my favourites. So we use the features, which are the gins, the nice trunks, the better trunks we kept. We can air layer everything we don't need. Continue to the twisting and bending process. Really compacted a lot of these branches. It really came in. Maybe it wasn't too clear on the time lapse, but really was compacting branches with wire, and that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Send me your questions, not a problem. If you think of any other ideas, things you want me to do, like time lapses or whatever else you can think of, close-ups, I'm trying to do as much as I can to cater for what you guys need. But there you go. All right, guys, I'll be back with another video soon. See ya.